Hello everyone, my name is Chet. This here is ChetChat. This is a special episode of ChetChat where I felt like just talking about random things and drawing because honestly, the problem I had with this channel a while back was that I got a little bored of what I was doing and I thought I was getting used to the channel and having fun with the channel, but I felt like I'm running into the same issue again where it almost feels routine in a sense, and this is really hard drawing and talking at the same time. One of the other things I like doing is drawing, so I wanted to share that with you guys while I'm trying to get better at drawing as well. I just wanted to do something different to get my mind off the channel a little bit. I'm still going to talk about movies. This is actually going to be a little longer episode than normal, so I have a few things I just wanted to talk about with the channel. And as you can see, you just see my hands and me drawing, and you might see my shirt. I can't really tell. I'm using my bootleg GoPro, and yeah, this is actually the first shirt I bought at an anime convention 17 years ago. So yeah, have fun with this old busted Fooly Cooly shirt. So that's like the state of my channel right now. I just trying to figure out what I want to do with the channel, and I definitely still want to talk about movies, but I feel like I don't want to be bored talking about it and just be rambling on like I am right now. So another thing I was actually thinking about doing was actually going out into New York City and making kind of like a food review kind of thing, in a sense, because I actually really like ramen. And I've created these values for ramen that I just grew into them over many years of eating ramen. And I felt like maybe I could just go out and, go to a restaurant, talk about the restaurant I like eating ramen at, and maybe finding new restaurants that I never really went to because I usually go to the same ramen spots and I love those ramen spots. And sometimes you don't want to just risk going into the new area for ramen. I'm gonna erase this whole thing actually. I don't like how this is coming out at all. I didn't expect this to be so hard. I was thinking about doing something like that, especially with my boy Faye, who also loves ramen, and y'all seen him before on my channel. I talk to him about movies and stuff as well, because he's one of the only other guys that I talk about movies with constantly, and watches as many movies as I do sometimes. Yeah, that's a little better. I'm definitely going to try and do that. You guys are going to see a pilot episode of that. We kind of did it on our other channel. We actually have another channel called The Walk. We kind of discontinued it because it's kind of like my fault. I wanted to focus more on ChetChat, and I was doing mainly the editing for that channel, but one of my friends actually took up the reins and we actually started recording again. I'm actually going to upload a new episode for The Walk soon. I'll put that link in the description and maybe you guys will like it. It's just a bunch of dudes talking about random crap, and you guys will learn a lot about me and my weird stuffs, and that'll be fun for you guys maybe, hopefully. So the ramen show, I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, but it's definitely going to be an extension of ChetChat in a sense, and that's pretty much it. So let me get some work in here. I'm forgetting everything I learned because I'm focusing on talking. It's weird. So obviously I've seen some more movies. The latest one I saw was Spider-Man. I have that review up already, Spider-Man Homecoming, and yeah, it was a really good movie, but I felt like I've always been feeling like this actually for the longest time now. I'm getting comic book movie fatigue. I feel like that's not what we should be looking forward to anymore. Like, oh, this year we're getting that comic book movie, and kind of who cares, man? Like, I want to get something that will stick to my bones when I watch it, man. Spider-Man, it didn't do that. Spider-Man was really good, but I just left the theater feeling empty. And all comic book movies do that to me, honestly. I've never felt really anything. Maybe Logan stuck to me a little bit, but not too much, So I feel like maybe the industry is kind of realizing it now that comic book movies are all right. They still make a lot of money, obviously, but I feel like it's slowly becoming the end for comic book movies. We'll finally get into actually good movies, back to the good old days where movies could just be free and do stuff without comic book movies blowing up the box office and not making any money for any other movie type. I'm going to erase this whole thing now. As y'all can tell, I am an amateur artist at best, self-taught. I took art class in high school, but it's regular art class and it's not really that involved. Although my high school teacher did tell me, he's like, Chet, you have to continue doing art. You should probably take art in college. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I wasn't confident enough, and I felt like my artwork wasn't going to be sustainable for me to make money. So I went into the technology career field, and I'm actually doing that now. I work for the DOE and stuff, so that's fun. It is getting really warm in my room. I actually turned off the fan, and the AC is on low at night, so how about we start again fresh with a new character of some sort. Let's do dynamic pose. And I love drawing women because women are more fun to draw. Men are boring. What else can we talk about? So I actually saw a couple of movies before Spider-Man, but I didn't feel like talking about it because of the reason that I just mentioned about how I wasn't feeling too good about the channel and how boring it was for me to do. Even if you guys like it, all 6 of you guys like it, I feel like it's not fun for me. So that's a problem. When it becomes work, I should stop doing it because I already have a job, and I don't want to have 2 jobs. I want to have a hobby and a job. And my hobby is watching movies, and I would love to share my ideas with movies, but I don't know, it feels boring right now. So I'm mixing it up. I want to draw more too, so you guys get to see that. But the other movies I actually watched was The Beguiled. I actually mentioned it in the Spider-Man review, and that movie is not too bad. It's just weird. I'm like, I don't know what they want me to feel in the movie. It's this weird movie that takes place during the Civil War in the South. So it's, what's it called? The Confederate area of America at that point. So the women characters, Nicole Kidman, Kirsten Dunst, Elle Fanning, whole bunch of star-studded female actresses and children actors too. And they have like this school and all the men are gone to war, and this one Yankee from the North, he runs away from a battlefield because he got shot in the leg, and he stumbles upon this girl in the woods, and she takes him to the school, and pretty much it's just this weird game of trust and betrayal, and a lot of weird crap happens, and it's just a weird movie. You see the movie happening in front of you, you see the characters going through all these emotions, and you see how the power of horniness makes you stupid and just hopeless. It's kind of weird. I don't know what the director really wanted me to feel in the movie. That happened. I would recommend watching it if, just to take a break from all these action-packed movies and just, see something a little more down to earth. Although I don't like Colin Farrell. I don't know what it is about him. Even though I like the movie called The Lobster that he's in, and that movie is really fun and interesting, but Colin Farrell in general, I don't really like him. He's hit and miss, man. Not consistent at all. So I kind of like this pose. It's kind of crazy looking. This is me not thinking at all. And yeah, what else did we see? We saw The House with Will Ferrell and that funny lady from SNL, I think she's from, and an Indian dude. And it's actually pretty funny. I don't know, I think it got bad ratings. Like most comedies these days get bad ratings. I laughed my ass off in that movie, man. I'm not gonna front. I actually like Will Ferrell, even though a lot of people don't like him as well. And a lot of his comedy isn't that good, but this one I felt like was much different in a sense that Will Ferrell's character is not a bumbling idiot all the time. It's a little different. He's kind of coherent. His only problem is that he's not good at numbers. But other than that, he's kind of like a smart character, and he's a successful businessman, but he's just not good with numbers. So pretty much the story about this couple who wants to put their daughter through college, and they were relying on this scholarship that was going to be provided by their city, but the city actually moved the money towards this swimming pool that they wanted to build. So they canceled the whole scholarship altogether, and Will Ferrell and his wife have to figure out how to put their daughter through college, but they don't want to tell the daughter that they're broke. Well, they're not really broke, they just can't afford college. So they end up meeting up with this guy who's even worse than they are, and he makes them invest in a illegal casino. Craziness ensues, and you see them have fun at the casino and earn some money, and it's a pretty good movie. I actually liked it a lot. I don't know, it's weird. I enjoyed it. So other than that boring stuff, well, it's not even boring really, it's just I'm getting jaded by my own damn movie reviews. That's a problem that I need to solve somehow. I just need to put something into it. Maybe I need to be more me. I feel like I'm putting on an act sometimes, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm not going to quit because I love doing this. This is so much fun to do, and to upload something and put something out for people to watch and finally get my thoughts out about movies that I watch, because not a lot of people watch all the movies that I watch. I go to the movies every weekend pretty much, and it's good. It gives me a release, and not that kind of release, you perverts. Drawing. So yeah, another thing I wanted to do, as you can see what I'm doing right now, is I want to draw more and ultimately want to get better at drawing because I want to draw a certain type of comic book. And I just finished saying that you guys are perverts and I'm ultimately the biggest pervert here who wants to draw perverted comics. And because I'm not really good at storytelling, honestly, and I still want to draw, but I really like erotic comic books, I guess, hentai and all that good stuff, and I have stories in my head for that stuff, and they're not really, long stories, and you don't have to develop too many characters, even though personally, I like when a character is a little developed, you get a little extra something from it. I want to ultimately put out some of my own erotic comic books. Yay, my AC is about to kick in. I'm going to feel cool again. Join me as I try to get better at drawing. Ultimately release my vision of good fat material. So you might hear my AC kick in, but it's not as loud as when I'm in the basement. Actually, you know what else I want to talk about? I've been watching a lot of anime lately, and recently I guess I finished an anime called Eromanga Sensei. So I was actually going to talk about this anime on the channel, but I saw the latest episode and I was just waiting for it to release another episode. Lo and behold, the anime is finished. That's season 1. It's done. I was like, what the hell? How can you end the anime at that point? But it is very enjoyable anime. It feels like Bakuman, which is a manga and anime about these kids making a manga, and it feels like that but for light novels, and they even like reference popular light novels in the anime as well, and I believe this anime is based off of a light novel anyway, so it's fun, and you get to see like the inside of making a light novel in Japan at least, and weird incestual romance that Japan likes to do a lot, like, oh, they're not really brother and sister, they're step siblings, and the brother kind of like you could tell he likes his sister like a little more, but he doesn't really admit it, and he kind of says like, I'm not supposed to like my sister because that's weird, but the sister also likes him. But the cool thing about the characters is that the sister, she's a shut-in, so she just draws in her room, but the brother doesn't know that. The brother actually writes light novels, and he actually commissions his artwork from a person named Eromanga Sensei, and his sister is actually Eromanga Sensei. So they're living with each other and they don't even know that they're collaborating with each other. So it's pretty cool. Draw this anime as here. Along the similar lines of anime is a Netflix cartoon. I'm gonna call it a cartoon because it's not an anime. Is Castlevania. There's a Castlevania cartoon on Netflix right now, and I think for me at least it suffers from me not knowing what the source material is. Something like how World of Warcraft, and I thought World of Warcraft was a boring ass movie, but a lot of people liked it because they know the lore. So the same thing I feel is for Castlevania, because I thought that cartoon was pretty damn boring. The first episode is like, yeah, they just introduce these characters and then somebody gets tight and then people just start dying, and you see how stupid religion is, and it just sets up this plot, this reason, and they have these characters there and they do some name dropping. I guess the characters are important, and I talked to some of my friends and they're like, yeah, there is a lot of lore, there's a lot of Easter eggs to the actual game, and I didn't really play the game that much, honestly, so I felt like I'm just watching these characters just play out this bland story with decent animation every now and then, and I felt like the animation is pretty good, but it's very choppy. I feel like I'm being a snob, but I mean, when you're gonna praise animation, there is better animation out there than that. I felt like in the latest episode of Boruto, which I'm also watching on Crunchyroll, not sponsored, and the latest episode in Boruto was pretty beastie. I know it's a different production team. Yeah, they probably have more money to make a beastie episode, but I mean, Netflix, they got all these really big actors and stuff, so I felt like maybe they could have got some better budget for the animation. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too critical of Castlevania. I wasn't looking forward to it or anything. I just saw it and I was like, oh, that looks cool. It looks like old school anime, and It does have that art style, but ultimately it's pretty boring and there's not enough action for me, I guess. The action doesn't happen until I think the third and fourth episode, and maybe there's like a little something in the second episode, but there's not really much. This is the hard part for me. I'm just drawing from my mind, so I don't even know what I'm gonna dress this character in. What do you guys think I should draw? So that's it for what I've seen lately, I guess. There isn't really much out right now. I'm actually gonna watch an anime movie at the end of the month called The Irregular at High School, or Irregular at Magic High School, I think it's called. It's weird, but it's a really good anime based off of another light novel, and I've been dying for like anything else to come out for that series, and apparently there's a movie coming out in theaters, and I already bought tickets, but it's at the end of the month and I'm not gonna see it anytime soon. Let's erase some of these lines. I guess I could talk about some manga I've been reading. So I actually have a subscription to Shonen Jump, which is pretty good for me. I actually like what is in the issues right now. You got some Boku no Hero, My Hero Academia. Is it My Hero Academia? Boku no Hero. You got Black Clover, you got One Punch Man, you got a few other things. Shokugeki no Soma, Food Wars. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. But yeah, man, that Boku no Hero, I definitely recommend it. If you guys have been watching Naruto and you missed Naruto, Boku no Hero is definitely a good fix. In a sense, they already had the Chunin exam and they already had the Rescue Sasuke arc, as I like to call it, in Boku no Hero. And they're doing another arc right now, which is like serious. It's so good. So Boku no Hero is pretty much this superhero manga about how almost everybody in the world has special abilities. You could register your special ability, and there are criminals and there's schools to learn how to be a superhero. There's a superhero organization, something along the lines of One Punch Man. It's just this really well told story. Definitely shonen. It's meant for boys, but a lot of girls like it, so don't put labels. So right now at my job, it is summer school, so I have more time to do things because I get out of work a little earlier. So don't really expect to see this type of episode too much after summer's over. If you guys like it, I'll try and do more, but this is, all experimental, just to see how I feel about this channel and what I ultimately want to do with this channel. Definitely still want to do movies, but just got to figure out the fix, man. Just got to figure out what I like to do. Like, yeah, if you guys definitely like seeing me draw more, I'll definitely do it. If you actually like my artwork, if you want to call it art. I just realized I've been forgetting the lesson that my friend told me about short controlled strokes to get better at making more solid lines. I feel like this leg is weird. Yeah, I guess I could give a shout out to some of my friends, and they know who they are, and some of them actually have YouTube channels. My boy Freeman, he's got a YouTube channel. He's got a SoundCloud and all that good stuff. My man be making musics, does some Let's Plays. Well, it's not really like Let's Plays. It's like he plays games. He doesn't do a whole series or anything, but they're a lot of fun. I'm actually on some of them, but should definitely check him out. I'll put a link in the description. And then there's my brother with he has a Let's Play channel called Super Nonsensical. Sorry, man. I straight up forgot your channel's name, but it's SNES for short. Clever. But I'll definitely put a link in the description as well. This is embarrassing. I am notorious for not remembering things, as you guys probably know if you've seen some of my videos, where I do not remember anybody's name and usually have to look it up. So don't tase me, bro. I guess we could talk about anticipated movies while we're here, And I pretty much have just one really anticipated movie right now, which is Dunkirk. And I'm so glad that movie's coming out very soon, because I really like Christopher Nolan's movies. A lot of his movies are actually some of my favorite movies, which is Interstellar and Inception. But my main favorite movie of all time is Alien, because I love science fiction, but I feel like I like Aliens more than Alien. They're kind of different movies in a sense. That's kind of a weird angle, but I think it's better. Other than Dunkirk, though, I feel like I don't really have any real movies that I'm looking forward to. There's so many period pieces coming out right now. You got Detroit, and there's that feminism movie. I think it's not feminism movie, but it's called Battle of the Sexes, where a female tennis player versus a male tennis player, and I think it actually happened in real life. So you got that coming out. And honestly, I'm kind of getting tired of those too. I feel like a lot of these movies are taking advantage of the time that we're living in right now. I walked in the subway today and there's a poster for Detroit that it doesn't even look like a movie poster. It looks like just straight up footage of, I forget which place it was. I think it was close to North Carolina or something, where they were protesting and stuff. It looked like footage from that. And they're saying, this is America. And it's definitely meant to take advantage of the state of affairs right now where, you know, people don't really trust the police and police are shooting people left and right and blah, 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 blah. So they're definitely taking advantage of that. And yeah, from a marketing standpoint, it makes sense. Just like how you have a movie called The Emoji Movie coming out, and what the hell is going on with the industry that you can have a emoji movie. And you know, I think it was last year we had the Angry Birds movie. So yeah, cell phone movies. I don't know what to expect from movie theaters anymore. It's getting scary. I don't know what's going on, man. It's a crapshoot these days, you know. Not to say that back in the day was full of perfect movies, but the majority of them were good. You know, remember when you could go to the movies and actually have summer blockbusters that felt good? And apparently, from what I was hearing in historical film stuffs, I forgot where I heard it from, Jaws actually was the creator of the summer blockbuster, where they actually released the movie during summer and they didn't think it would do good, but a lot of people saw it and it kind of created its own genre of the summer blockbuster. Isn't that cool? I actually really like Jaws too. Jaws is hella good. And actually like 47 Meters Down. It's not bad. So we actually have a decent shark movie, but stupid characters. Whereas Jaws had great characters, had amazing characters. Just those three dudes on that boat was good enough for the movie, but you have more characters than that. You have the dumbass mayor, you have the main character's wife, you have his kids. They're just great characters altogether. Alright guys, I think done for now. I don't really have too many more topics to talk about, honestly. And this is just something I want to do a little bit. Maybe show you guys a little bit with this picture. I don't know if it looks good to y'all. And maybe I'll do another episode where I'll come back and kind of clean this up and ink it a little bit, and you guys can see that, and we can talk a little bit more about how I feel about my channel or how I feel about certain things. Or this is called ChetChat. It has a movie ticket behind the logo, but it is essentially me talking, and I'm Chet. So I definitely want to expand upon that, and I'll definitely try and get that ramen episode out to you guys. It's definitely probably going to be next month because I'm super busy this month. Next week is, well, this week is Splatoon 2. I'm definitely going to get out a movie review for you guys though on Thursday, well, Friday morning. And following after that, I have to go to a baptism for a new member of our family. Then after that, I got the anime movie. So then after that, I'll definitely probably be able to do the ramen episode, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that too. And hopefully I will enjoy it ultimately, you know? Because if you don't like what you're doing, you definitely can't keep doing it and expect to grow to like it. If you just don't like doing it, man. I feel like that about everything in your life. If you don't like your job, you're not going to do better at your job, and you just become more miserable, even though you need the job to survive. But you definitely need to make a change. Ultimately, it's about your happiness. And money doesn't always equal happiness, but it helps, you know? I work overtime for money, and I'm not ultimately happy, but I feel like what am I really going to do with that time rather than what I'm doing right now, just drawing. And I actually draw at work, so I have a good job, man. So I can't really complain. I got that city job, you know? So that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time. Give me a little like if you like this video, and let me know if you actually enjoyed hearing me rant and talk about random things and just sit down in this more intimate setting and not see my mug and watch me draw terrible anime girls. You could also just give me a dislike if you don't like it, or just let me know you want me to go back to the regular state of affairs of just standing in front of a camera, talking about a movie, giving you my thoughts about it. I don't know why you care about my thoughts, but I just want to share them anyway, you know? Subscribe if you want to see more. So that's it for this episode of ChetChat. Thank you for staying around, and thank you for listening to me talk. See you guys next time. You thought you was gonna get away, huh?